Hey Mini, can you make the air temperature a bit cooler?
I will lower the temperature.
Hello. What am I doing here and why am I talking to the car and asking it to lower the earth temperature? I said a bit, but whatever. I'm in the new Mini Countryman. This is the new operating system, Mini OS9. And because today on my Polish channel there is something very much dedicated to the Polish market, I thought I'm gonna do something a bit different and record a video about the new infotainment system in the new Mini. I think infotainment systems are something that many of you are interested in, and yeah, let's get on with it, shall we? Okay, so the big news is that there is no speedo in the new Mini. Doesn't matter whether it's the Mini Cooper, which was formerly known as the Hatch, Mini Countryman, or the upcoming Aceman. There is no speedo as such. There is only a head-up display, which shows you the speed limit, and sat-nav directions. And then everything else, or 90% of everything else, is done on the screen. Before we go to the screen, I'll just tell you what's not done on the screen, or what can be done outside the screen. So there are a couple of switches and buttons down here. We have the gear selector, we have the engine stop-start twist switch toggle, which is very cute. We have the experiences or modes, drive modes toggle, we have the volume knob, and then we have the menu, camera, hazard lights, front window defroster and rear window defroster buttons, and you can get to these basic car functions using your sort of muscle memory, let's say. Everything else is on the screen. However, what I really like about this is that the engineers decided to give you more than one option to achieve what you want. So for example, to go into the lights menu, I could either press the lights menu button on the lights and indicator stock, so that's one way to get in. I could go into the main menu, and through some car settings I would find the lights menu somewhere in here, God knows where. System, vehicle, car, maybe car settings, driving settings, probably somewhere through here. Or another way to do it is to just press the lights icon indicator here, and from here I can do various things with parking lights. These are the with lights in general, driving lights, parking lights. Also I can change the design of the LED lights in the back and in the front. Sorry for the cutaway, but you have to turn the engine off to do it, so I don't want to lose the AC. It's quite warm today, so that's very cute. What's the same thing with more advanced drive settings? I can either press a button down here, or I can just press the gear icon and that will take me into the same position. So that's, I don't have to remember what the engineer thought is going to be the right choice. I'm given a couple of choices how to access a given menu. I also like, and I said this in the BMW M2 review, why having digital screens, why not let the user choose either modern or perhaps a classic skin mode display, whatever you want to call it. For example, Volkswagen has shown us this very nice classic display in the whatever is going to be the electric Polo when it arrives finally. And here I see that Mini is leaning heavily into its heritage. I mean, this looks more or less like the original Mini Speedo, and if you want to make it even more classic looking, you can go to something like Timeless, and okay, I'm sure you can turn those chimes off. I'm sure some of you had or have the original Mini, the Sir Alec Isigonis's Mini, and I'm sure you will tell me that, oh no, this looks nothing like it. Well, to me, it looks pretty damn good, and I like that they're leaning into it. Okay, before I start playing with modes too much, let me show you another thing which I noticed. Okay, there is mini sound in here somewhere. That would be, oh, that would be simply in the drive settings. There's mini sound. Now you won't pick it up just yet, but there is slight bassy sound all of a sudden, and it's not heard. You can't hear the difference outside. It's all inside. If we now go into the go-kart or sports mode, you will hear the difference. Can you hear the bassy sound? And now if I turn this thing off, that's it. All the pops and bangs which can be heard during driving from the MIDI sound are from the inside. It's not. It's the same. It's not. Sorry. You can't hear it outside. By the way, this is just so cool, so nice. I'm really blown away by shiny things on the screen. But you know what? Compared to the BMW OS8 and 8.5, I like the Mini OS9. It just appeals to me. Okay, let's get back to the core mode, which I think I like the most. Okay, and in it, if we go to the main menu, this main screen, I think if you had a Mini, the previous generation Mini, the one with the rectangular screen in the middle of the round former Speedo, you know this array of options more or less. So there is no surprise here. I haven't found a way to rearrange these menu items. I would really like to, but I haven't found a way to do it. But generally speaking, you can have your sort of most important functions up here. Then you can go into the menu with, this looks more or less like BMW menu, where you have icons for various settings. You can group them by infotainment, vehicle, recently used, etc. What I like is that they are in alphabetical order, so once you kind of learn what's in here, you should be able to find them. These three on top aren't alphabetical, but everything else is. You can also search for various settings, etc. There is a very good parking camera and parking assistance. This is finally upper class BMW level, and now you can have it also in the Mini, because the previous 1 Series and X1, X2, the ones before the current generation, were really stripped down when it comes to assist features. Now the new X1, X2, the new 1 Series and the Mini, they have all the features that you'd expect from a premium brand. So finally Mini and BMW have caught up with, say, Mercedes. I really like the way all this looks, all this works, and all the settings are so legible, and there is so much you can store here, and fortunately you can store it in your cloud account. So this is the only reason why you would use your account, I guess, because many of the things could be stored with the key or with the seek memory settings. But I kind of understand why they want you to have an account, because now you can finally store these settings and carry them from one car to another, and I think that's useful. What else do we have there? Ambient lighting, for example. Ambient lighting is it's actually quite funny, because it's not okay. First of all, it's available in. You can change it in the personal experience mode, or whatever you want to call it, and it's not like the dashboard is lit up. It's actually projected from behind the screen. So that's interesting, let's say. Again, you can set absolutely everything here when it comes to your ambient lighting or interior lighting in general. You can. This is brilliant. If you go into the driver assistance settings, this is very clear. You know what you're about to click into, and once you go in here, again, you have drawings which kind of lead you into what are you looking for. You don't have to read small letters. You see, oh, this is lane assist probably. That's what it is. Similarly, if you go into safety and warning settings, side collision warning, front collision warning, lane change warning, it's a pictogram, so you don't have to put your glasses on, take your glasses off, depending on what's your what eyesight problems you have, and I'm sure many people already have them from sitting in front of computers. So I'm really glad that they did it so clearly for their target group, which is probably not getting any younger. Hence, this countryman is much larger than the previous generation. The only thing I'm not quite sure about is how they implemented Android Auto, and I know it's not their fault and they have to work with Google, but this is a round display, and when you click Android Auto, it's square. I mean, it works fine, it's excellent, but I wish they could have done something around it, maybe just added some little buffers, which would be mini buffers, but they would just look nicer. But if you don't want to use Android Auto SatNav, there is very good OEM SatNav. If we can just go into it, perhaps I have to exit. Okay, yeah. You'll see in the cutaways that there is augmented reality, which is nice, and also it works with the adaptive cruise control. So whenever there is a maneuver you have to perform, like maybe take a left turn, right turn, whatever, it's going to start slowing you down before this maneuver. Also, the car recognizes roundabouts, crossings where you would have to slow down, and it slows down when you're using adaptive cruise control. Again, you can play with the settings and disable it, like ESA. That's one click of the set button on the steering wheel. It's easy, and I'm just very positively surprised by how seamless it is. Because after BMW, which I detest to say the least, this is absolutely brilliant. Anyway, sorry if this is not as structured as my usual reviews, but this is just a brief walk through the infotainment system. If you would like me to make these more structured and go step by step, it's going to take much longer and it's going to be a lot more boring. And if you don't mind me just kind of blubbing about how I feel about the infotainment system, completely unscripted, then I hope I'll just get better sooner rather than later. Since I know some of the kind of last episode of the month or first episode of the month where I have a special episode on the Polish channel, since I know the English version of it doesn't usually perform very well in English, I will probably be doing an infotainment review, walk through every once in a while. I hope you don't mind. If there are any other car features you would like me to discuss instead of or besides the infotainment system, let me know in the comments below. I'll gladly address those issues in the near future. And yeah, like, subscribe, all that sort of stuff. And I'll see you in the next one. Oh, by the way, the Countryman review is probably already available or will soon be available for channel members.
If you like my sarcastic, down-to-earth and possibly mildly amusing car reviews, join me every Friday at 3 p.m. Central European Time, and don't forget to subscribe and like this video as it helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.